as soon as I moved to Florida, I got a job working in a car dealership as a salesman. So before I could get the job, I had to pass a urinary drug screen, which is pretty common now. So I quit smoking pot about a month before I moved, of course. And as soon as I found out I got the job, I started smoking before I went to work. I lived about a half mile from work, so of course every day I would go home and get high on lunch break and then come back to work stoned and do miraculous work. There was one day, I had just bought an ounce from a guy that worked in another part of the dealership, and the Buick I drove at the time was low on gas, and I didn't want to waste half my lunch break filling up when I could be at home getting stoned, you know? So I asked my buddy if I could borrow his Toyota Celica, my roommate's Toyota Celica, by the way, if I could, take the ounce home and then run back and I could just fill up my car after work, which he was okay with because I had a very clean driving record. I've never been in a wreck before. I didn't get a speeding ticket, 4 years before that at least. Oh man, but on this particular day, I was driving home. I was driving over a bridge, down a hill, and out of nowhere, this old white fucker in a Mitsubishi Galant turned left illegally in front of me, and I T-boned him on the passenger side, totaled my buddy Celica. His wife ended up having to be flown to the hospital because she was pretty fucked up. So as soon as the wreck happened and I recovered, it happened so quick. It barely even registered that it was a wreck. The old guy gets out of the car. You ran that red light. You ran that red light. No, fucker, I didn't. I didn't have a cell phone at the time, but thankfully this guy that had seen the wreck pulled over and asked me if I was okay. I told him yeah. I asked if I could use a cell phone because I didn't have one at the time. Called the owner of the car, Alan. Hey, Alan, I just totaled your car. I'm sorry, but you gotta come get this ounce out of the car before the cop gets here. No questions asked. He borrowed a car from the dealership, one of the faster manual transmission cars there. He got there in, a minute and a half, grabbed the ounce, took it home, and got back well before the cops even arrived there. That was great. It was a state trooper that got there. Of course, the old man that I ran into was accusing me of running the red light and this and that, and the cop just asked me the standard questions. Do you know what happened? Were you wearing a seatbelt? Do you have insurance? Blah, blah, blah. So I gave him my insurance card. He runs it, brings it back. You're not covered under this policy. You might need to give him a call and find out what's going on. Turns out I didn't actually have car insurance. I had no idea, and I talked to my parents about it, and they told me that they had cut me from the policy after I had moved to Florida because it was too expensive to keep me on, which after having a conversation with them, I remember them telling me that. I had just completely forgotten about it, So I still had a Tennessee driver's license, no insurance, had an ounce of weed in the car, totaled my buddy's car. He got a new car out of the deal, which ended up working out great, and I got away scot-fucking-free. We still joke about it to this day. That was his favorite car he ever had, but I totaled it. The safe driver, he drives 5 miles an hour under the speed limit everywhere. In the right lane. I'm not one of those assholes that drive slow in the left lane. And I totaled my buddy's car, who drives it like it's a fucking race car everywhere. It's kind of, I don't know, not ironic, but it was funny. We still joke about it. Every time it shows up on his Facebook feed, memories or whatever, he shares it. Oh, you wrecked my car. Oh, shut the fuck up. Good times. I miss living in Florida, man. But I don't miss being young and dumb either, so I guess there's something to be said about that. So drive safe. Don't drive slow in the fucking left lane. That's what the right lane is for, okay? You guys piss us off. Use your fucking turn signals. Wear a seatbelt, goddammit. There's so many safety measures in cars these days, but they all rely upon you wearing your seatbelt, being in that seat. If you don't wear your seatbelt, then you're asking for a brutal death. Damn, every time I think I'm going to drop it halfway into the story, I end up flipping for 4 extra fucking minutes. Gets a little old. There we go, yeah.